hello everyone, I am Coral and I am back to talk pot news with all of you, or as the DEA likes to refer to it, marijuana news. I say I'm back because I did miss last week's News Nug recap. Thank you so much for your patience. I wasn't able to get a video posted because I was on the road up to Santa Rosa where I spent the weekend at the Emerald Cup. It was so fun. I'm so glad I got to do that. But that means that we have two cannabis news stories to talk about with you. And I mentioned the DEA because they are the running theme through both of these stories. Last week's most popular story was about a statement from the DEA where in their annual release, a statement of affairs, what's going on with them, they included in the section about marijuana a statement that said the general public has been introduced to contradictory and often inaccurate information around cannabis, and that the more misinformation or media coverage that is on cannabis, the more difficult it is for the DEA to step in and actually enforce the laws as they are. They're complaining in their yearly newsletter or whatever it is that all of this media attention on legalization and medical benefits of cannabis and the costs and damages of prohibition, all of this media coverage is actually making their job a lot more difficult because the public is not on their side. The article that I linked to for the News Nug post was quick to point out that this information sometimes comes from within the DEA itself, that they have not been quick to accept new science, to accept relevant science when it comes to cannabis. And of course, having marijuana as a Schedule I narcotic prevents research from being done in most cases. So when they sit there and claim that we don't have accurate research being done, and they also contain the key to getting that research unlocked, it's so frustrating. The statements from the DEA have reinforced what a lot of advocates have known for a long time. A well-informed and well-educated public is the Drug Enforcement Administration's worst nightmare. They may claim that the media is spreading misinformation, but when it comes to cannabis, the media in the last couple of years has been on our side. They've been sharing stories about CBD oil, about children recovering with thanks to cannabis, about adults recovering. The media has been sharing stories about the decades that people are spending in prison for non-violent crimes and the opportunities we have to overturn these convictions when possible. Well, there's a lot of work to do when it comes to the media and their portrayal of cannabis overall. I would say that they have been on our side lately. They have been sharing more and more cannabis news stories. When I search for stories to share with you guys on News Nug, I am finding more and more stories every single month, and apparently that is what the DEA is afraid of. They don't want media coverage. They want to be able to do their jobs in the dark with no one paying attention, and it's just time we flip that light switch on. This story was all too relevant to bring to you the most popular News Nug story of this week. I think anyone could see this one coming from a long shot. There were exciting things happening in Canada and Massachusetts. Way to go, you guys. Legal access in some ways, the talk of it in other ways. But the most popular story when I posted the 4 different options for News Nug was the DEA's clarification that CBD oil is in fact federally illegal. The Drug Enforcement Administration has set out to create a new drug code for marijuana, because they use the very outdated with an H spelling of the word extracts so that they can quantify and track flower as opposed to extract. When it comes to classifying marijuana extract, the DEA is very clear that they do include CBD oil. A lot of people are very riled up about this and directly affected because regardless of whether your state has passed medical marijuana laws, CBD oil has been up until this point available online through a number of producers because it was being produced from hemp. Hemp and cannabis are the same plant, but hemp has less than 0.3% THC, which we've seen and known and talked about as the psychoactive component of cannabis. With a better understanding of cannabis, we know that THC isn't the only vital cannabinoid, but that's how the law was written, that hemp has less than 0.3% THC, and that makes it a different category as opposed to cannabis and marijuana that we grow to smoke, and most of it would have above 0.3% THC. Generally, I would say between 10 and 20%. CBD is a completely different cannabinoid, and it can be present in both hemp or cannabis, but the DEA is saying that regardless of where you source your CBD, it is still a federally illegal Schedule I controlled substance. This new drug code / clarification of what a marijuana extract might be by the DEA's understanding is not necessarily legal by some lawyers' interpretations. It'll be really interesting to see how this plays out because in 2014, the United States Congress did pass a farm bill which included the right for some states to grow hemp and produce hemp. But now they're saying that to actually extract that hemp into CBD oil is a federal crime. So what does it want the hemp farmers to do with their crops? One tiny sliver of a silver lining that I could see here would be the push for hemp textiles, hemp fabrics, hemp papers, because we do have hemp farmers across America and there will be people whose jobs are affected if CBD oil is no longer a viable product for them to produce. And hopefully, well, that is worked out in the legal system because ultimately I do believe everyone deserves access to the cannabis and the extracts or tinctures or derived products from cannabis that they need. But while that gets worked out, perhaps we will see a hemp domestic textile industry grow. CBD oil derived from hemp has been helping people across the United States and they've been importing it from all over the world. So it'll be really interesting to see how this clarification goes into effect and whether it can actually be upheld. I really appreciate you guys watching this video, staying informed while you stay high. If you made it all the way till the end, please give it a thumbs up, share it on your feed with your friends in your next smoke sesh, and go away DEA.